Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your big homie Crooks the Great, aka CTG, and I'm back at you guys with a very special video today. Because in today's video, we're going to be determining which is the better game, Undisputed or UFC 5. Now, I have been getting this question a lot in my live chats. Hey Crooks, Undisputed looks good, but what do you think is the better game? Is Undisputed better than UFC 5? Or is UFC 5 still better than Undisputed? So it prompted me to make this video for you guys and give you guys some information to help you guys decide which is the better game, Undisputed or UFC 5. So in order for us to do this, we're going to be breaking it down by 3 categories. We're going to be breaking it down by movement, we're going to be breaking it down by punching range, and we're going to be breaking it down by tracking. Now, those 3 things I chose are specific because they're in both games. Now, I know UFC is an MMA game. I know you guys are going to be like, well, they're 2 different games. But boxing, my people, is part of MMA. Okay, so we can judge it off boxing alone if you guys want. If that's what we're going to do, we're going to go off boxing just by itself. So we're going to go UFC 5 boxing versus Undisputed boxing, and at the end of the day, we're gonna figure out which is the better game. So without being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first category we are gonna have is movement. Now we're gonna start off on the Undisputed side. Undisputed's movement is very realistic to what you would see in a boxing match. It's not very quick, you know, it's very slow paced, but it can be fast at moments. You can get in and out of the pocket with lunges, you can circle, you can cut angles, you can work inside the pocket as well as working outside the pocket very well, and it's very realistic to what you guys would see in a boxing match. Now, on the UFC 5 side, you have a little bit of a difference, right? You have freer flowing motion. Wow, say that 5 times. Freer flowing motion. You're able to get in and out of the pocket faster. You're able to get in and out of ranges faster. You're able to play a little bit more footsies, you know, and be able to escape a little bit quicker. And you're able to close the distance and still use your lunges and slips very well when you are inside the pocket as well as outside the pocket. So those are both games movement, right? So then let's go to thing number 2, to category number 2, and that is punching ranges. Now in Undisputed's punching ranges are up close. You're with broken power punches right now. Ranges kind of are a little wonky, and that's what I'm gonna say with Undisputed that they need to patch, which hopefully they do. ESBC, if you're watching this, you do need to patch them ranges on them power punches. But for the most part, a lot of the action is going to take place up close. It is. The hooks, the uppercuts, you're going to have to do a little bit of inside fighting really to be able to be good at Undisputed. And outside fighting is good as well. You can pop your jabs off. Your straights are going to be really good. The power jabs are a thing of beauty in Undisputed as well as power straights. Power straights can be a thing of beauty as well, depending on which fighter you're using. Now, with UFC, punching ranges are generally going to be up close. They are. They're going to be up close. You're not going to be throwing a whole bunch of combinations from outside. You can outside fight a little bit, but it's really difficult to do. So, yeah, you're going to want to be a majority of your time is going to be spent inside the pocket, or the danger zone, as I like to call it. So it's gonna make you have to really get used to being in that range and really be close in order to land damaging strikes that I know everybody likes to land. So the third and last thing that we have in terms of the categories that we're judging both of these games on are going to be tracking. And I'm gonna tell you what, both games have tracking issues. Undisputed's tracking is very hit or miss. Sometimes punches land the way that you're meaning to throw them, and sometimes they just shoot off to outer space, and they're never to be seen again. And it's really, really weird, man. It comes at really weird moments. Sometimes you'll land a hook that they're circling into, and the next time, your hand gets morphed through their body. Something weird like that happens. So it's very, very troublesome when you're trying to play the game. So that kind of is a really big problem, ESBC. So we gotta work on that. So there's a lot to be desired with Undisputed. And on the UFC 5 side, I would like to say it gets better, but it doesn't. It doesn't. UFC 5 has a lot of tracking issues, especially when it comes to slipping. The damn slip meta in UFC 5 is crazy. Because in UFC 5, we like to call it bobbleheading, but you can evade all kinds of strikes by just going like this. You feel what I'm saying? You're ducking. It looks like you're Tony Ferguson out there breakdancing in your training session. You feel what I'm saying? People just rotate their right stick and avoid all kinds of punches. It's one of the most annoying things to have to deal with in UFC 5. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it intentionally messes up the tracking. It does. And then if you try to go down to the body, then it also affects body punches as well if they're ducking. So yeah, tracking issues. Definitely a big thing for both games. Now, there's a fourth thing that I didn't tell y'all I was gonna add on to this, but that I'm adding on to this. You feel what I'm saying? We're going kind of haywire a little bit. But the fourth thing is going to be damage. Now, damage on Undisputed leaves a little bit to be desired because I feel like damage doesn't accumulate as much as it should, especially right now on power shots. And honestly, that's a good thing, because if damage was higher, oh man, power shots they'd be way more OP than they are right now. But it takes a lot to KO somebody on Undisputed. It really, really does. It does. And damage, I feel like, could be spiked up just a little bit, but overall, the damage, I would say, is okay on Undisputed. Where on UFC 5, damage is very, 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 very huge. It's very, I would say, it's a game changer. Because if you slip one strike and somebody's at half stamina, oh yeah, you coming back with a furious counter strike, and it's more than likely, if you catch them in vulnerability, going to rock them or stun them or even drain their head health down all the way to damn near 15%. And if you're lucky enough, you might even get a rock. So damage, I feel like on UFC 5 is very, very good, man. Especially with the vulnerability system, and that's something that Undisputed doesn't have. It makes you pay for making mistakes. So with all that information being said, ladies and gentlemen, which is the better game, Undisputed or UFC 5? In my humble opinion, it's going to be UFC 5. Now, I know all you guys are going to come at me and be like, well, Crooks, you were a really good player at UFC 5. You're one of the best players in the world at UFC. And to that, I tell you to stop it. You feel what I'm saying? I know what I am, but I'm just being realistic with my opinion. At this current stage, UFC 5 is a better game for me, but that's only because Undisputed just dropped. I'm not saying that Undisputed is trash, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying that. So don't jump in my comment section saying that, because I know some of y'all will do it. But I am, at this current stage, Undisputed is not a better game than UFC 5. And that's really to be expected. It really, really is. And there's nothing wrong with that. There should be no shame in Undisputed's game. You feel what I'm saying? It'll get better as time goes along. But right now, I feel like UFC 5 is a better game than Undisputed. But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think is a better game? And why do you guys think Undisputed is a better game than UFC? Or if you think that UFC is a better game than Undisputed. I want to hear your guys' reasons why from both communities. You feel what I'm saying? So that way I can go in and answer the comments and really see where both games stand amongst the whole combat sports community. But that's it for the video, my people. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to slap that subscribe button as well as slap that like button. it'd be much appreciated, so that way this video does get tossed into the YouTube algorithm and more people get to voice their opinions on the games that they love. You feel what I'm saying? Whether it be UFC 5's way or whether it be Undisputed ways. We all love to hear it. But until next time, my people, take it easy, be safe, enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from. And I will see you guys in the next video.